The city of Durban has recently been announced as the first African city to host the Commonwealth Games in 2022. I'm now joined at the desk by Phillip Sithole, who's the head of Durban Tourism, to tell us more as to how this will benefit the city of Durban and, more importantly, the tourism industry there. So good to have you with us today, Phillip.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting us.
Indeed.
To be part of this interview.
I guess the first thing I should be saying is actually congratulations to the city of Durban and South Africa overall for managing to secure such a momentous event. But maybe if you can give us a little bit more and paint a picture in detail as to what does it actually mean for the city of Durban in a tangible sense?
Well, in a tangible sense, firstly, for the first time, the city will be hosting an event of this magnitude. We had the World Cup in 2010, but you know, the World Cup teams were moving from one city to another city, and there were instances where the hotel rooms were not all full. We're hoping that this time around, because the event will be, you know, in Durban and not moving around, so we hope that all the hotels will be full. Secondly, the event is going to help us to achieve some of our major objectives, which are also objectives of the country, to promote social cohesion and also to facilitate economic growth and fast-track infrastructural development.
Tell us about that infrastructural development, because I understand that almost 80% of the resources needed are already in place, and that's looking at the big stadiums that you have, in particular Moses Mabhida. But from the tourism sector, could we see more investment in certain aspects of the hospitality industry?
Well, the hospitality industry has responded positively to the initial investments that were made by the city in relation to 2010. I mean, hoteliers, they have invested a lot of money in upgrading their hotels. And we're hoping that because of this particular event coming in 7 years' time and other major events that we're going to host as the city, that will serve as a catalyst for investors to actually invest even more. There are some of the investors who, in any way, were going to invest billions of rands who had already declared their investments a year ago along the beach promenade and next to Moses Mabhida Stadium. There is another investment by the city itself in partnership with the provincial government of KwaZulu-Natal, to build a sports precinct which is adjacent to Moses Mabhida Stadium. So these are some of the investments that, with or without Commonwealth, were already confirmed. But I've been told that last week the cabinet met, as well as a portfolio committee of sports in Cape Town, to inject more funding towards the capital investment required for the event of this magnitude.
What about the small and medium enterprises, though? Because we're hearing about capital being deployed from the heavy hitters, but the SMMEs that you might have contact with in the various sectors of tourism, are they also maybe looking to boost their level of investment?
Well, SMMEs, we learned a lot during the World Cup because expectations were very high. This time around, we would be advising people on which areas that requires investment. And we've got enough time to work with small businesses in terms of training, the skills that, giving them skills that will be required. But remember that most of the restaurants and taxi operators and others that are involved in the entertainment industry, they are SMMEs themselves. So people have been investing a lot because if you compare the Durban of today and Durban 10 years ago, I mean, it's not the same when it comes to the infrastructure and the number of people that are visiting the city. So that has made SMMEs to upgrade their B&Bs, their guest houses, and as well as the backpackers. So we are hoping that by winning the 2022 Commonwealth Games, that will encourage small businesses to invest even more.
Phillip, we know that it is officially September. December is just a few months away, and for many Joburgers, they tend to look to escape the province when it comes to the holiday season, and that also brings us to the reason why you're actually up in Joburg for this weekend, trying to attract Joburgers like myself to come down to Durban to participate in some of the activities available there. Tell us more about that.
Well, Gauteng is one of our top source markets.
I would know, because I'm one of those cars in December on the freeway and the N3 making traffic.
Yes, well, today up until Sunday, we're here in Gauteng. We'll be in Soweto, during the Soweto Wine Festival. We'll be promoting the city of Durban, promoting the new experiences that were not there last year. We'll be promoting the new products that were opened this year. So we're trying to encourage. I mean, there are many other entertainment products that have come up in the townships. So as part of promoting tourism, we are not only concentrating on the city center or in places that are well known like Umhlanga or Palito. So we try to make sure that people from the townships also benefit from the visitors that normally comes to Durban, millions of them that come to Durban during the festive season. So there are new products in Claremont, in Inanda, as well as in Umlazi that have come up that we are here to push so that people would know that if you come to Durban again in this coming December, there's more than what you experienced the previous years.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your time today. We certainly look forward to it, the boost in local tourism in South Africa. Thank you again for your time today. That was Phillip Sithole, head of Durban Tourism.